Worth £250,000, incredibly, this Aston Martin hasn't been seen for almost 50 years. Discovered in a Gloucestershire barn, this is just one of the exciting projects currently being undertaken by Jonathan Wills and his company, Cotswold Classic Car Restorations.
As a company, we're really excited and it's a privilege to be involved with this.
Jonathan started restoring classic cars while he was still at school in the 1990s and set up Cotswold Classic Car Restorations around 4 years ago, with the aim of working on mainly British models, such as Aston Martins and Jaguars. The company currently has a full workload, and Jonathan shows us some of their current restoration projects.
It's a 3-litre, 6-cylinder engine. Its stored conditions were perfect. It was in a dry, open, airy building that was heated during the winter. So the amount of corrosion that's occurred within the car is remarkable. What marks this car as absolutely unique is it's an Aston Martin DB2 FAR, which the build numbers are only in a few hundreds anyway. The few that are left are absolutely cherished, command considerable values, ever rising, and for the Aston collector, you're not going to find this again. Potentially, that restoration, typically, it's about a year's worth of work.
Here we have the Maserati Quattroporte, 1970. This is one of only 2 in the world, and this particular car is a special commission by the Aga Khan. The other one was a special commission by the King of Spain. It took 3 years to build this car, Maserati themselves. This car features one of the most opulent interiors you'll ever see. The super soft calf leather that seats are trimmed in, the deep Wilton style of carpet interior you will not find on many cars at all. Lovely wooden dashboard with a very full complement of dials. This car was to be apparently a discreet saloon. Discreet isn't a word I would use with it. And propelling this beautiful saloon car is a quad-cam V8, 5-litre, in excess of 350 horsepower. It's a variation of Maserati's race engines. The design criteria from the Aga Khan is a car that would do 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds and 170 miles an hour. It's really ahead of its time. It's in absolutely beautiful and original condition, pretty much as it left the factory all those years ago.
Restoration projects are very time-consuming and incredibly detailed.
We actually break the car down into all its component pieces. We mark out any repairs that are required as well. So we can either build the car as completely original, or we may be able to modify it slightly to make the car actually more up to current speed of traffic. The chassis and body would be acid dipped, so where the actual body and chassis are put into an acid tank and left there for 48 hours, and that removes all paint, it removes all the rust, all the sealers and corrosion, and when the body is removed, it is then put into a neutralising tank. Then the car will come back to us and we'll inspect it for any cracks or perforation or where the panels have become thin through corrosion. Then we go through the various processes of the restoration, which include body, paint, chassis rebuild, and the retrimming of the leather and the hide, and even down to the glass. If the glass is marked or damaged, we'll be looking at replacing the glass if the customer requires.
The main challenges in a restoration of a vehicle is getting the originality correct and working closely with the customer to ensure that the refinish article is exactly what he wants.
Despite all the beautiful vehicles Jonathan has worked on, he still has a wish list.
A car we're yet to restore that we would absolutely love to be commissioned to restore would be an ex-Formula One car owned by Jim Clark, Jackie Stewart, Graham Hill, James Hunt. The history with those cars, the battles that they were involved with is just second to none, and it would be an absolute privilege if ever one of those projects comes our way one day. It would be a dream of mine to restore one of those cars owned by one of those fantastic drivers.
And it seems Jonathan has no plans to stop working on these classic cars anytime soon.
Working on classic cars is absolute joy. It's something that I see me doing to the day I die, and being involved with them. When the cars are actually completed and leaving your workshop and you've seen them progress over 1 or 2 years, it's good to see them out there being used again and the customers enjoying them.